guys, hope you're doing well. Blush Lily here with another pick a card reading. In this one, we're going to be taking a look at what important and urgent messages your future self has for you. Now, I keep saying all the time, I don't believe in coincidences. So the fact that you guys are watching this video, the fact that this video has found you, means that you have something that you really need to hear at this particular moment. So without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at today's options so you guys can find out what it is. So option number 1, you guys get the turquoise crystal. Option number 2, moonstone. And option number 3, starstone. See which crystal you're most drawn to. Don't overthink it, you know the drill. If you do need a bit more time to make your decision, pause the video because we're going to go ahead and get started with option number 1. Option number 1, if you're drawn to the turquoise, hi and welcome to your reading. Putting you over here in the center of the universe. Let's find out what urgent and important messages your future self has for you. But first I want to take a look at your future self. I want to take a look at the energies of your future self. Let's take a look. How are you feeling in the future? This version of the future self coming through now to deliver you the urgent messages. You're feeling very much empowered. This future version of yourself, she or he is coming through over here to tell you that you've made an important decision. So maybe you were kind of neglecting making some sort of decision, neglecting some sort of intuitive hits, but they're telling me that you finally made some decision, and it has a lot to do with acceptance of your body. It has a lot to do with acceptance of who you are and acceptance of not being perfect. Because it could be that option number 1, you guys could be somebody who's a perfectionist at this particular moment. And you have really high standards, but your future self is coming through and saying that these high standards, at one point or another, they turned into isolation. Like you've put up this huge wall around yourself, around your heart, and you said only the best or nothing. And this is the way you kind of been treating yourself, only the best or nothing. But the thing is, like, there is no perfection. That's the thing. So your future self is coming from a point where they've released this expectation of perfection from themselves, from others, because the only thing that's perfect is something that isn't real. And this is the important and urgent message that your future self has for you. That you gotta release this perfectionistic vibe because it's standing in the way. It's not allowing you to be friends with people. It's not allowing you to maybe create certain relationships. Yeah, romantic relationships. Because you're expecting too much of yourself, and in turn you're expecting too much of people. And it's a coping mechanism that you've adapted over the years in order not to feel certain pain, not to feel a certain way. But your future self has made an important decision. And your future self has released this idea, this expectation of constantly being perfect, of not making mistakes, and of judging yourself and others too harshly. Because you realized, once again, the only thing that's perfect is something that is not real. A statue, an airbrushed picture, a Hollywood movie. Those things aren't real. They're staged, they're photoshopped, it's impossible to achieve those standards. And they're saying what you have been trying to do in your spiritual journey, in your physical journey, in your just life journey altogether, is try to achieve this top of the top, the creme de la creme sort of position without realizing that you don't have to be perfect in order to be loved and accepted and appreciated, in order to be valuable or valued. And why your future self is coming through with this particular reading, with this particular message, is because you've already wasted enough time trying to be perfect. And it's almost, for some of you, option number one, it feels like you withdrew from the world and you kind of told yourself that I'm not going to come out unless I'm perfect. Because in order to demand perfection, you gotta be perfect. And you're like, all right, well, until I'm perfect, I'm not going to come out because then I can't demand perfection. And it could be that your future self, the urgent message from your future self, is to stop wasting time on it, to stop wasting energy on it. Because people want to come through over here. People who might help you just by telling you a good joke. People who might help you meet your significant other. But it's almost like you, with the Nine of Wands over here, you might be too guarded. Might be a little bit too guarded, and your future self is like, you got this, you're already good enough. Stop, take the scissors off the shelf and cut yourself some slack over here. Let's see what else your future self wants you to know at this particular moment. Because here you're feeling more relaxed, you're feeling more at peace, you're feeling like you're not treating your body as like, it's this energy where you don't treat your body as something separate from your, and there's acceptance. A lot of you, option number one, you might have not had acceptance of your body. You might look at your body and like, no, that's not me, or that can't be me. And it's this energy where here your future self is more accepting. And the urgent message is to get on with this acceptance, is to make that decision, is to not be afraid of making mistakes. They're laughing, they're literally saying it's not the end of the world. Like, stop taking things so seriously. It really is not the end of the world. They're like, you messed up, so what? Double mission, channeling and uplifting humanity. All right, so your future self, the urgent message coming through over here is the vibe that, you shouldn't take your beauty from the world. You shouldn't take your beautiful energy away from the world. Like, stop hiding. This is the vibe that I'm getting over here. Stop hiding. Because you, with your presence, you with your kindness, you with this energy of just being you help people be themselves. Because there's nothing more beautiful when you're accepted just the way that you are. And you can chill and you can finally, be your, you can be dorky, or you can be bitchy, or you can be naive, or you can be cynical. You can just be yourself. Your mood doesn't define you. Your mistakes, they don't define you. Now, I want you to know, guys, that for a lot of you, your future self is coming through from a different place. Creating heaven on earth, it's happening. So if you have been thinking about relocating, of wanting to live somewhere abroad, your future self is coming through and saying, yeah, that happened. Yes, that happened. Yes, you did it. Yes, well done. I'm not going to go too much into detail as to how it happened, because for a lot of you, it's going to be different. But if you guys are in a place that you absolutely hate at this time, or you feel like you don't belong, or you can't fit in, or like, this is not like you were forced, maybe by like external influences, like you were forced to go somewhere, Maybe you were forced to run. Maybe there's like a refugee situation going on over here. Your future self is coming from a place where you feel good, where you feel at home. And this is because, once again, you kind of let go of a lot of things of how they're supposed to happen. How they're supposed to happen, how fast they're supposed to happen, and how you're supposed to get there. I do have a separate video about whether you live abroad or whether you meant to live abroad. I think I'll link it down in the comments section or in the description of this video. But for sure, for a lot of you guys, you've created your own kind of heaven with the Lemuria energy coming through over here. Because that they're saying that desire to be somewhere else, that desire to be in a place where you feel more like you belong, that is something that's real, that is something that's authentic, and your future self wants you to know that you shouldn't give up. Don't give up, but it might be coming through in a different way to what you kind of have expected. They're telling me don't cling on too much of how it's going to happen. Don't cling to because you kind of might be getting in the way of the universe. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't do anything, but it just means be open to opportunities and possibilities. For some of you, it might be through work, by the way. You're feeling much more healthy. I don't know what it is. They're telling me you're feeling much more, when you're just energized? You're energized, you're open to meeting people, you're open to talking to people. And maybe if right now you were somebody who's don't talk to me, don't look at me, just let me pet your dog in silence. In the future, you're more open to those, to small talk, to conversations. Yeah, it doesn't mean that you have a gazillion friends, but you are more open to people. You are more open to conversations and help as well. Okay, your future self says, jump in, adventure, and say yes to change. They're saying stop fighting this energy of change. You can't fight it anymore. It's coming. It's coming, it's there. Jump in. So this is very much the full energy, and I've recently just done the full energy reading on my Patreon, where it's all about new beginnings. So if you guys are interested, check it out. But here, this is so much about diving deep into your desires. Because it's going to pay off. This is what your future self is coming through to tell you, the urgent message. Because it feels like a lot of you guys, option number one, you're about to give up. And your future self is coming through and saying, please don't. Please don't. Maybe there needs to be a break. Maybe there needs to be a pause. Maybe you need to rethink things. But you still have to make a decision when it comes to acceptance of who you are, when it comes to not being afraid to make mistakes. Because our mistakes define us as much as our achievements do. They make up our life. And I know it's contradicting. It's they don't define us and then they do define us. Does that make sense? At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. But here they're saying, say yes to change, jump in. So it looks like your future self is coming through to tell you that there will be an opportunity to try something that's completely unknown. And they keep saying, say yes to change. Because look at this, forge, don't follow. Pave a new path, be the leader you wish you had. Saying you already know all of the things that you need to know. They will come to you through other people. They will come to you in meditations. They will come to you. Just understand that it's yours. Your life is yours. Your destiny is yours. And you got to be forging your own path. And you might have to say goodbye to some people along the way. But this is your path, and this is something that only you can do. Only you can walk this path. So your future self is urging you to do that, because from where your future self is at this particular moment, you're happy, you're healthier, and you don't take things so seriously. And there are a lot of people around you who accept you and whom you accept. All right, lovely. Option number 1. This is where I'm going to end your reading. I hope you enjoyed it and it resonated. Don't forget to claim the magic of this reading. This is a bit of a little ritual that I recommend that you guys do, so that you let the universe know that you agree with these energies and you want to claim them. Like, share, subscribe. It helps the channel grow. If you guys are up for a personal read, do send me an email. The email's in the description box below. All right, my darlings, take care of your beautiful selves now. Bye. Option number 2, if you guys were drawn to the Moonstone. Hi and welcome to your reading. Let's take a look at what urgent messages your future self has for you. But before we do that, I want to take a look at the energies of your future self. Current energies of your future self. How are you feeling from where you are channeling this message? How are you feeling where you are? Anything you could tell us? A lot of you are married. A lot of you are married. A lot of you are already parents. An energy of somebody who's quite intuitive and creative coming through over here. Of course, you guys were drawn to the Moonstone, the crystal for intuitives. There's an energy of peace and serenity. It could be that a lot of males were drawn to the Moonstone for this reading. I know you guys are watching. And whoever needs to hear this, you really are in a place where there's peace of mind. So it looks like at this particular moment, you might be struggling with anxiety, struggling with apathy, struggling with things like ADHD, struggling with loads of things, with maybe panic attacks and things like this, anxiety attacks. And I think here you guys have done a lot of healing, not just spiritual healing, but also actual healing. And it looks like there's the peace of mind. Like I almost want to talk quieter. It's just this energy of serenity that's coming through over here. But a lot of you are married and it's a beautiful union. So if you've been wondering if you'll ever get married, if you'll ever find the one, the answer is yes. Okay, more where your future future self is coming through. You guys might already have a child over here. You're in love. You're coming from a place of love over here. You've healed your inner child. Big time. You reconnected to your inner child. And so many cups over here. Guys, you're feeling your feels. You're feeling your emotions. And these emotions are incredibly positive. And like literally, you're coming from a place of love, of being in love. Coming from a place where it's very interesting. Your future self is coming through to say that there's still things that are going to surprise you. So maybe if right now you're in this energy where I've seen it all, nothing can surprise me, I'm just like doing my thing and nothing gets me like going anymore. No, your future self is coming through and saying, listen, there's still so many surprises. Like it's this energy of being in a creative bliss, in a loved out bliss. Where you've healed your heart. You've healed your heart. Yep. I don't know if you've gone through Sagittarius energy over here, like dealing with the Sagittarius. And I don't know if there's an energy of an interracial relationship, but they're telling me that this relationship is over. If you guys were in a situationship, they're telling me that this relationship is over. You're happy. You're happy with somebody else for most of you. You found your happiness. Like you found healing from this energy of constantly attracting people who break your hearts. Or this feeling of loneliness. You finally allowed yourself to be healed. Because here, this is the energy, you know, when somebody comes to heal you and tell you it's going to be all right, but you don't want to believe it. You're like, it's not going to happen, never in my life. I'm just like, it might happen for other people, but I'm never going to find love, or I'm never going to do this, I'm never going to do that. You finally stopped resisting. And it's this energy of when you stop resisting for good things to come in, that they do come in. Yes, there's an energy of the 10 of Swords where you finally realize that it's not going to work with somebody, or something wasn't going to work. And you let it go. You went through all the stages. You went through the grief, the denial, anger, and you finally came to acceptance. If you guys had any issues when it comes to maybe eating disorders and things like this, once again, they're telling me this is healed. And your relationship with your body, with the way that you look, is much, much more improved. Okay, let's take a look at the urgent messages that your future self has for you in this particular moment. Listen, you're looking for your place, you're looking for yourself in all the wrong places. Somebody bullied you when you were little. There's an energy of like being bullied over here, and they're saying that you need to heal this. It's a big issue. Like it's a big subconscious issue, because it's not letting you come out when it comes to like, you're like, you know, being in your full power. They're saying stop questioning yourself. You're looking for you outside of yourself, where you should be looking within yourself. Any talents, anything of that sort, pay attention to them. Like your future self is saying you're incredibly talented, and you might meet your future spouse through some sort of channel. Okay, hold on a second. Through some sort of like an outlet channel. Hold on, guys, I'm trying to understand. They keep saying channel and I don't understand, but they're saying like whoever needs to understand this will understand. So maybe some of you want to be TV presenters, maybe some of you want to be doing YouTube videos, because they're telling me meeting your future spouse through channel. Okay, but you're in love. They're saying like stop being very cynical about love. I think you guys are very cynical. You're like, I don't believe in love. It's not going to happen. I don't care. But again, it's your future self coming through saying like, if you don't convince yourself, nobody else is going to convince you. So don't lose hope just yet, because this is like a beautiful thing that you have going on over here. You do have a husband, you do have a wife, you do have children. Don't hold yourself back, let yourself be seen, because it's this energy of you may be suppressing your sensuality. You keep going back to something. Your future self keeps saying, stop going back there. Stop going back there. Stop going back to that man, or stop going back to that woman. Stop going back to... You might be associating yourselves. Another thing over here, lovely option number 2. You might be associating yourself to your mother or your father, for a lot of you to your mother. I'm hearing maybe being afraid to end up as your mother or something like this. Or feeling like you have to repeat the story of your mother. Or being afraid that you need to leave somebody or separate. The urgent message over here from your future self is to not be afraid, because you have your own path. You're not going to be repeating this story. I keep saying you have your own story. And be careful with addictive behaviors. This is another thing that your future self wants you to know. Any coping mechanisms. And you guys know what they are. Okay. What other urgent message your future self has for you? Earth School, life lessons, soul growth, study, higher learning. Alright, you guys are about to pass some sort of exam. Like for sure, they want you to see this as a school. So if you've been wondering why is this happening to me, and by the way, I did do a video about it recently. You gotta understand that you're learning a lot of things, and learning never stops. And some lessons are tough. Some lessons are fun. Some lessons take longer for us to master than others, and that's cool. And it's all about self-growth. It's all about how you're learning. So from where you are in the future, what you went through, it makes so much sense, because sometimes we don't see the picture, the big picture, without all the puzzle pieces. And for now, you're kind of collecting these puzzle pieces. But your future self sees this picture that's being made up out of those puzzle pieces. You're incredibly homesick, but you will find your home. Inner authority, intuition, turn your gaze within. All paths lead home. You guys might have been feeling homesick for a place that you don't know where it is. And you're literally like, I want to go home. And then they say, where's home? And you're like, I don't know. I don't know. And it's incredibly heartbreaking. But again, your future self says your home is where you are loved, accepted, understood, and where there's somebody waiting for you there with a hug and maybe something nice to eat. And maybe, you know, there's like a little baby there, a little fluffy baby. Do you know what I'm saying? It's a place of belonging. And you find it, you found it. And if you guys feel like crying right now, your future self says you gotta cry at all of those things. Let your emotions come out. Because it's horrible when you don't have a home. It's horrible when you don't feel at home. Your future self says give yourself the compassion that you so willingly give to others. Some of you guys might be called Anna. Some of you, you might have a grandmother whose name is Anna. And there's definitely an energy of somebody looking after you. You might have a daughter named Anna later on. There's a divine plan, again, like I keep saying, that your future self says like you don't see the full picture just yet, and that will make sense. It really will make sense. And if you are, if you have Jesus as your ascended master, talk to him. Tell him your troubles. Look for strength within and realize that you were supported. And starseed, what lights you up? They're saying you got to be honest with yourself. It's only honesty that will get you out of this situation. And if you're feeling something has run its course, then it has. It really has. Don't question yourself. And see what really lights you up. Don't stop looking. Don't stop looking. Don't stop exploring. You're constantly changing. So you can't just have this one picture of who you are. One day you're like this, the other day you're like that. But most importantly, I'm hearing your future self coming through saying, just leave yourself alone already. With all of the self-improvement and spirituality and diving deep, they're just saying, just leave yourself alone, honestly. Give yourself a break. Because all of those things, they might give you an illusion that you need to be a certain way, act a certain way, behave a certain way, look a certain way to be loved and accepted, which is not the truth. You're not for everybody. Not everybody's gonna love you. But why would you need everybody to love you? You just want people whom you love to love you. And that will happen. All right, lovely. Option number 2. Don't forget to claim the magic of this reading. This lets the universe know that you guys agree with this energy, that you're accepting the magic of this reading, and that you are ready for it to start working in your life. Like, share, subscribe. Helps the channel grow. Helps me deliver these messages to you. If you guys are up for a personal reading, do send me an email. The email's in the description box below. So is the link to my Patreon page with more exclusive content, additional discounts, and much, much more. So make sure to check it out. All right, my darlings, take care of your beautiful, beautiful selves. Bye now. Option number 3. Hi and welcome to your reading, my darlings. If you were drawn to the Starstone, let's take a look at what urgent messages your future self has for you. But first, I want to take a look at the energies of your future self, okay? So where they're coming from at this particular moment, what they're feeling, wherever they are, and whenever they are. Straight away, I just keep hearing that you guys are meant for greatness, okay? You're meant for greatness. Right. Let's take a look. A very strong energy. Option number 3. A very strong character. Somebody who's been through so many things. Overcoming addictions. You made friends with your devil. You've accepted all parts of yourself. And now you know how to handle a lot of tricky situations. You're in a place where you're no longer intimidated by anybody. You're in a place where you see things from a very, very different perspective right now. Your opinions on spirituality has changed. Your opinions on sexuality has changed. Your opinions on a lot of things have changed. It looks like you guys, they're telling me that your future self coming through right now, you're quite wealthy. You're quite wealthy. You're somebody who's very good with money. A different location, they're telling me. Maybe making money. There's something about the way that you make money, which is maybe before you considered it, I don't know, there's a financial block that's been lifted. And maybe you're working in some sort of industry that a lot of people might consider questionable. Maybe that you considered questionable, but now you see that it's not the case. Okay, so it could be working for a film industry, it could be working for a night establishment, but you have a lot of wealth over here and you're much more grounded. It could be that you invested wisely in something, but you took the chance, you took the gift, and you released some sort of addiction, some sort of a coping mechanism that was preventing you from making money. Because, I don't know, the Starstone, guys, is where you're meant to shine, you're meant to sparkle, you're meant to do a lot of things. Some of you might end up working in marketing. Your future self is coming through. Marketing, PR. But yeah, recognition, attention. You guys get attention. So maybe if you have your like YouTube channel, or you guys wanted to get an audition or something like this, you get attention. And for a lot of you, you guys have become very comfortable with your desires, with your sensuality, with your sexuality, and somehow it helps you earn money. For some of you, it's literally helping you earn money, and for others of you, the block has dissolved because of a lot of shadow work. And you realize that you're not saints, you're not meant to be saints. You realize that you're a human being, and you found a way to make money, you found a way to earn money that's right for you. So you're coming from a place where you're quite grounded, you're coming from a place where you've come to terms that you need, maybe sometimes you need validation in the form of somebody else's attention and recognition. And you're cool with it. Because a lot of people, they keep trying to change themselves, they keep trying to break themselves, you know, to be perfect, to be the way that they supposedly need to be. But you've learned to adapt. And it's a fantastic skill in today's world, to adapt. And you've become very adaptable over here. Whatever it is you've been working on, whether it's fame, for some of you, by the way, I'm seeing research, and for some of you, they're saying, remember that investment you made? I don't know if it's Bitcoin, I don't know, guys, right? I'm not going to give you investment advice, but they're saying even if it was like Bitcoin, or if it was like investing into some sort of property, it has paid off. And here, like, you guys are being recognized and you're being applauded. You're still being a little bit shy over here, but you're being more open. More open with the world, more open with yourself. Like, I keep just hearing no bullshit anymore. Like, you're tired of the bullshit, you're tired of people, they're telling me that people, like, they're telling me no new friends. Like, you have some really good friends and a lot of acquaintances, maybe a lot of fans, a lot of subscribers, but when it comes to friends, there were some trials and tribulations, and your future self is coming through and saying you're gonna see who your true friends are. And it's gonna be eye-opening. And a lot of you, you've embraced your shadow aspects. Really. Like, whatever that they are, you've embraced them. And you've made friends with, you know, remember that song, I'm friends with the monsters that's under my bed? Get along with the voices inside of my head. So you're not trying to banish them, you're not trying to make them leave, you're not trying to make them bad, but you realize that these are all parts of yourself. And you're cool with it. It's what makes you. But honestly, guys, for lots of you, and I know it might sound ridiculous, but you're literally telling me this from a penthouse. From a nice penthouse. A lot of you, you know, you have a nice bottle of Bayou chilling. A lot of you, you have like a bank account that's just like, oh my gosh. Here, it's kind of like you made it. Okay, let's take a look at the urgent message that your future self has for you. Stay focused. Stay focused. You're much smarter than what you think you are, but they're saying don't be afraid to bend the rules. Not break the rules, not hurt anybody, no, it's not like that, but don't be afraid to bend the rules. Think outside the box. Think outside the box. See the bigger picture over here. Don't underestimate the power of your intellect. You guys are incredibly smart. Even if that smartness sometimes is in just like thinking, like making people think that you're stupid. Like, sometimes this is the smartest move that you can make. Not to try and prove something to somebody, but to just be like, yeah, whatever. And they're saying that you are smart. It's almost like I'm getting a lot of fox energy. You know, foxes, they're really witty, they're very smart, they're very, like, you know, they can think their way out of a lot of situations. Some of you guys could be ginger. I'm getting a lot of ginger people here. Ginger or reddish brown hair. Saying be smart and don't underestimate the power of knowledge. Spontaneity is the key to success. This is the urgent message from your future self. Spontaneity, don't be afraid to go somewhere, to explore, to maybe sometimes be a little bit, I don't know, what's the right word? Give me a second, I'm trying to, sometimes, you know, when you're curious, don't be afraid to dig deeper. Embrace that adventurous side of you. Like, it's literally, they're showing me like breaking outside of the box. They're saying, think outside the box. This is what I keep hearing. Everything is not what it seems. There are lots of fears, guys, that you're experiencing over here. It could be fears of that you're going to be judged. You guys, a lot of you are intuitives. But once again, it could be that literally some of you made it in the industry. You made it on the silver screen. You made it as a songwriter, as a composer. You made it as somebody who's a motivational speaker. I'm seeing a lot of people because sometimes the moon comes through as something that has to do with theater, movies, movie clips, music videos, books, right? This is where everything is not what it seems. So they're saying be daring. Now is the time to be daring. Take the risk. Keep exploring. They're saying follow your heart. Really follow your heart over here with the Gemini energy. But it's like the decision after decision, they're saying it's not that you're making mistakes, it's that you're looking for things. So they're saying a failure shouldn't stop you. Don't let this failure stop you. Because there are going to be failures and you guys are going to be like, oh my God, did I make the wrong decision? Is it going to pay off? Is it going to pay off? Yeah, the answer is yes. And again, you guys could be doing something with illusions. Some of you guys could be good when it comes to creating some sort of makeup looks. Yeah. Maybe you guys are really good when it comes to being a makeup artist. Or you can literally transform. Some of you guys need to heal toxic masculinity. Toxic masculinity, because here you are dating, okay, and maybe you're not ready to settle down just yet, or you're still looking for this person, but here you're more preoccupied with your career, with your self-expression, with your money, and you're dating. You're not lonely, but they're saying, your future self, that you need to deal with the toxic masculinity. Because it could be one of the reasons why there aren't like a lot of good men or a lot of good women that are around you. Okay, let's take a look. What else? Urgent messages from your future self. The golden children, the inner child, tenderness, innocence, and rare gifts. Okay, you do have the rare gifts. And your rare gifts is something that's going to get you through the door. This is what they're telling me. Rare gifts is something that gets you through the door. So you guys are incredibly talented. And that power, that desire might be in your shadow aspect. So they're like, embrace yourself. Because in reality, we are all innocent. Let that tenderness come out and be seen as well. and heal your inner child. Heal your inner child, because this we could be talking about a father who was very toxic, who was telling you that you're never going to amount to anything, you've done well, but the yada 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 yada. Yeah, it could be somebody who was very narcissistic, somebody who was constantly giving you BS. But the truth is, you need to get back to your innocent child. You need to get back to this energy. And this is what I keep hearing. He was wrong. He was wrong. And you, Earth, it's happening. Keep holding the vision. You guys are creating this energy. Your future self just keeps saying, keep going, keep going. You're meant to be great. You're meant, like, there's this energy of somebody who's meant to be a star, guys. It doesn't mean worldwide, but it's somebody who inspires others, who illuminates others. So keep holding that vision. Keep holding that vision. Sisterhood of the Rose, beauty and devotion, priestess, mystic, and teacher. Okay, some of you guys are literally meant to be teachers over here. And it could be teachers of how to overcome a lot of toxic masculinity, how to deal with children. Maybe some of you guys are going to be teachers of children with special needs, right? Maybe some of you guys, there's this energy of creating a women's circle or something to empower women over here. Since we have the Sisterhood of the Rose, beauty and devotion, priestess, mystic, and teacher. So maybe you guys are meant to be somebody who uplifts women or feminine energy, who helps them heal. I've got the Star Brothers, which is the same for males over here watching this. Honestly, guys, we have the sisterhood and we have the brothers. So for males watching this, it could be that you guys are creating men's circles where they can also come out from this energy of toxic masculinity and the unbelievable amount of expectations that are on men at this particular moment and all sorts of things. So it's very much about healing a lot of things that came from the past and creating a brand new earth over here. Through your popularity, through you being able to reach out to a lot of people. And I see a lot of you over here, guys, you do a lot of charity work. So they're saying, like, maybe it's something worth taking a look at. It will make you feel good, that's for sure. All right, lovely. Option number 3. This is where I'm going to end your reading. I hope you enjoyed it and it resonated. Don't forget to claim the magic of this reading down in the comments below by saying I claim it. Like, share, subscribe. You know the drill. If you guys are up for a personal reading, do send me an email. The email's in the description box below. So is the link to my Patreon page with more exclusive content, additional discounts, and much, much more. So make sure to check it out. All right, my darlings, take care of your beautiful selves now. Bye.